Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how you can create the checkpoint topology, and for that, first of all, let me tell you what is the IP and lab information that we are going to achieve. I'm sharing my screen here and I want you to pay proper attention here. Okay, so the topology that I want to create is okay. Let's try to see what is the topology. Okay. Okay, let's see that suppose this is a GUI machine. This is your graphical user interface machine of HQ, means headquarter. And this is the management server, and this is SMS, security management server of headquarter. And we can have a server here which is Active Directory server, and there is a client for it, Active Directory client. And let me show you the IP addresses here: 192.168.1.10/24, 192.168.1.1/24, and 192.168.1.100/24, and 192.168.1.101/24. So this is the story of head office network. The head office network is protected by a firewall. This firewall is a checkpoint firewall, and the name that we gave is security gateway -HQ, means security gateway of head office or headquarter. Now, this firewall has three interfaces. This interface is internal network, or this interface is 192.168.1.254, while this interface has an IP called 192.168.2.254, and sorry, this interface has IP 200.20.2.254. So all the IPs are here for 254. Let me also tell you that the interface which are here is ETH0 and ETH1 and ETH2. So first, this is first interface, this is second interface, and this is third interface. And after that, this public server is connected publicly through a router. This is a router, and this is a public machine. So here at this interface of router, you have IP address 200.20.2.1, and similarly you have an IP here which is 200.20.3.1, and in the same fashion here the IP is 200.20.4.1. All the IP belongs to /24 range. So the public machine is 200.20.4.10. Okay. Across this router, there is a public network. Sorry, this is a branch network, the branch office. The branch office also has a private and public interface. On private interface, we have ETH0, and public interface, we have ETH1. And towards the ETH0, we have IP address 192.168.3.254, while on Ethernet 1, we have IP address 200.20.3.1. So this IP is here at this interface, and this IP is here. Now, with this interface, there is a host connected. This host is a branch GUI, and the IP address here is 192.168.3.10, and the firewall is connected with a router. So the black portion that you can see is emulating the public network, while the left hand side firewall and the networks are for head office or headquarter, and the right hand side network belongs to the branch office. Also, one important fact that I should show you here, this firewall is connected with a DMZ server, and the IP address here is 192.168.2.10, and this is the whole topology that I want to achieve. So let's try. First, I will start with this HK GUI. So the aim is to achieve or to get the HQ GUI. Okay, friends, let's try to achieve it. To create the topology, I have to connect a particular server, and the server IP address is 548637.169. Now you can see, let me make it full screen. Right. So friends, as you know, as you can see, I have a Windows 7 machine. Now, okay. Now with Windows machine, I'm just going to extract it. This Windows 7 is going to be extracted. I just want to import it. And let's see whether it will get imported or not. Now you can see the Windows 7 is ready, and I want to use this window as Windows 7 as GUI HQ machine. So I'm just going to change the name here, um, GUI HQ, and I'm making sure the adapter is there. Okay, good. Okay, and now I am powering on. You can see here the Windows 7 is ready, and let me just set the IP. Um, okay, let me just go and set the IP address now. Now from the topology, you may remember the IP address is 192.168.1.10. So I'm just putting the IP address here, 192.168.1.10. And the gateway will be 192.168.1.254. And I'm just using global DNS by Google, and that's all. So my GUI machine is ready. Okay, my machine is ready, and let me just check that everything is okay or not. So I'm just going to verify CMD and IP config. What IP address is there? 1.10. Yes, very good. Now I want to create my HQ SMS machine. which has the IP address 192.168.1.1, and parallelly I will be installing my firewall, the head office firewall SGHQ. Okay, so let me just, and for this installation, let me tell you, I need this checkpoint ISO file. This is the Gaia ISO file. So I'm just going to create a new virtual machine, and I'm going to tell this VMware workstation that please install the operating system through this ISO. So it is a Linux based, and the name is SG-HQ. Okay, and how much hard drive I need? I need 100 GB. And should I customize the hardware? Yes, I need to use 2048 minimum, and I need two processors minimum. Okay, one more thing. Let me ask you how many interface we need at the management server. Only one. Very good. So now you can see the installation of, sorry, this is not, there is a mistake, and the mistake is that it is not HQ. This is not SG, it is SMS-HQ. Please see carefully. This is HQ SMS, and the IP address is this one. So I named it like that, and I'm powering it on. Now I'm installing the Gaia here. Gaia is like any common operating system that you can use and install. Here you have to select that you want to continue with the installation, and what kind of keyboard you are using. I'm using US based keyboard, and here the operating system divide the hard drive based upon the requirement. So 4% is used by system swap, 15% system root, 15% logs, and you can see 65% of the hard drive is used for backup and upgrade. So I do not wish to change anything. I'm okay with it. Now I'm giving a password here. My password is India at 123. In my password, first I is capital INDIA at 123. INDIA at 123. Now you see the IP address belongs to the topology 192.168.1 and the gateway 2. So I'm okay. Uh, while it is taking time, I also want to start the installation of my firewall. So the installation is almost the same. You have to just select the ISO file of Checkpoint and you have to just change the name. The name is SG-HQ. Okay. Okay, so it tells me that this is already exists. So where it exists, let me check. All the machines are here. So I'm just checking it. You can see virtual machines. So we have HQSG already. Control V. Yes, so I just want to delete it. No, no. It is better to give a different name, HQSG1. So, okay, let it happen. And 100 GB space. Now, because I have to make hardware related changes, I need to select 2048 RAM. I need to select 2 GB of RAM and two processors. And also my firewall has three interfaces. If you see here, the firewall has Ethernet 0, Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2. So to I need to add two more interfaces. Here I'm adding another network card and similarly I'm adding one more. So now you can see I have three network adapter card. 1, 2, 3. That's all that I need. And let it install. Okay, let's install in the same way. And the things are almost same, so I hope you will not face any issue while doing this part. Okay, so I need to accept. I need to accept the type of keyboard. I need to accept the partitions. I need to accept the password, or I can assign whatever password you want to use. Now, as you know that the firewall has three interfaces, and I mentioned Ethernet 0. So if you go and check Ethernet 0, you will see an IP address 192.168.1.254. So I'm going to give the same IP here. 192.168.1.254. Okay. I'm not mentioning default gateway right now. And friends, you can see the management server installation is done and it asked me to reboot. So I click to get it rebooted while I'm coming back to my firewall installation. Uh, Friends, while you can see the firewall is getting installed, but my management server is already installed. I can check by logging that my username and password are working. Admin, right. My password is working and it is telling me that please access the web UI. So where is the web UI? Web UI is your graphical user interface machine. So first let me check whether the management server is able to connect with GUI machine. So I'm just checking ping and 192.168.1.10, and you see it is not responding. And due to this problem, I need to understand the logic of interfaces and network. In VMware, we must have some network segments. The segments denotes one logical network. Okay. So here you can see the network adapter. This network adapter can be belonging to any virtual machine. But once you go there, please go to the LAN segment, and under the LAN segment, create these LAN segment. I will tell you the logic of it. HQ in, HQ out, BR in, BR out, public, DMZ. So these are the segments that you need to have. Why we use it? Okay, let's try to understand what is the logic here. Simply, if I say that two machines, if they want to communicate to each other, then they should belong to the same LAN segment. Okay, so I'm going to use HQ in LAN segment, and I want to connect with management server and the GUI machine. Okay, so let's try to connect. How you can connect it? First of all, you should go to HQSMS, go to setting, and from here, if you go to if you select the LAN segment, you want the management server to be connected with HQ in. Okay? So it will become obvious that if you connect GUI with the same LAN segment, both should be able to communicate. Let's try. So now both SMS and GUI are connected with common LAN segment, which is HQ in. And let's see whether, oh, you can see it is still telling you that the destination host is unreachable. Okay, let's try again. What happened? So either the LAN segment is not functioning properly, okay, HQ in, okay, good. And let's check here, it is also HQ in or not. Now you see HQ in, so it should ping, but generally in Windows machine we have a firewall, a host firewall. So better we should go and check whether it is active or not. Should go and here you see it is active. So you just simply go and turn these firewall off. And let's see what happens. Oh, you see, you can get the response. So HQ GUI and HQ SMS are communicating. So because now they are communicating, I am going to GUI and I'm going to take the web access of my management server. So I'm going to use the browser. And here I'm going to use the IP address HTTPS 192.168.1.1. You remember this IP is of management server. So the browser is trying to give you the web access. Now certificate, self-signed certificate is received. I said okay, and I got logged in. As you can see, I'm not able to see the content on the page. It most of the time is due to the uh, the flash player absence or some prerequisite for graphics. If it will not show me here, I will try to use another browser. As you can see, I'm not able to use it, so I'm going to use Firefox now. This is the trouble that you have to face. So https 192.168.1.1. It is also showing the similar picture. To display the page, Firefox must send information that will repeat any action. Okay, no problem. Let me check the connectivity. CMD 192.168.1.1. It's responding. Okay, you can see it is still not trying. So this may be a problem here. I'm trying the third browser that I have and hoping that it will work. Thank God the Internet Explorer worked. Yes, thank God. Okay, now you can see this is the first time configuration wizard. This wizard is helpful to decide whether the Gaia machine will be a management server or a gateway. So I am just selecting next because I want to continue installation and configuration. The IP address is according to my topology, and now I'm going to change the name. SMS SMS HQ. I'm not making any changes at the time. And now here I should select security gateway and security management. And then I need to select that the machine is a management server and not a gateway. Now I have selected security management because the management server option is highlighted here. So I'm just selecting, I'm making my management server as a primary management server. And hence, because it becomes a management server, I need a different admin for administration of the management server. And this admin will be admin1. And password, I'm using the same. And here I'm selecting any machine because I can use any machine then to connect with management server. Now it will keep on installing the management server, but it will take some time. I would say not some, I would say considerable period of time it will consume. So now you can see the gateway is also installed, and I need to see uh, how it how it functions. Now let me log in and verify. Okay. Again, it is telling me to access web UI. So how to access the web UI? The, the way you accessed it, the management server. So here, you know that adapter is right now associated with the net. You please go to the LAN segment and select HQ in. It means the first interface of the firewall and the only interface of the management server and the only interface of the GUI machine. These three interfaces can connect each other. So let me just verify by accessing, yes, 192.168.254 because it is the IP address of my firewall. Okay, so now this is the first time configuration wizard on the firewall. It tells me operation failed. Okay, in the same way, I'm going to change the name because it is gateway. So SG-HQ. As I refreshed, it has got started. So again, I have to repeat the same procedure. And this time I have to make it a gateway. And here I need to give a activation key, and this key I'm putting 1234 1234. Yes, now you can see the installation of gateway has started. Let's see what is the status of management server. Okay. So sorry, management server is stuck at 90%. Let me tell you, friend, this 90% remains for long time. So don't lose hope. Let it happen. It will soon finishes. You'll see your gateway is installing quickly and your management server is still on 90%. And see, your gateway is installed, and I click OK. It will reboot, but while your management server is still at 90%. So we will wait for it to finish and then we'll start. Okay, so you can see here the installation of management server is also installed. Once it is installed, it will get restarted and will show you the Gaia operating system. I can show you the Gaia of security gateway. This is the Gaia, and once it is there, you should be sure that at least 3 kind of configuration should be there, and these 3 kinds is first your interfaces, and I'm giving the IP addresses on the interfaces 220.2.254, 255.255.255.0, and the third interface is 192.168.2.10, 2.254. Now you can see all 3 interfaces are there, and it is according to the topology. If you see the topology, you will be able to understand what are the 3 IPs which are uh, which are to be configured at the firewall. You can see here. Now you can see 3 IP 192.168.1.254, 222.254, and 192.168.2.254. So the same IPs are configured here. Also, you should assign these, you should provide the default gateway. So default gateway is already there. You need to just edit that and add the IP address. And the IP address is 200.20.2.1. Okay, 220.2.1. You can see this IP address. This one. Okay. Okay, now once you install the gateway, then you are required to mention the DNS also. Okay. So I'm adding the gateway, which is 192. Sorry, 200.20.2.1. Okay. Now the gateway is there. Sorry, 200.20.2.1. Let's add one. Okay, so the gateway is installed. Okay, let me see what is the difference here. So you have 1 to 54. Okay, everything is good. What about the static route? Okay, this is default. And I'm going to add a gateway IP address. IP address is 200.20.2.1. And now it accepted it. And let's go to DNS and configure the primary DNS server. So this is the gateway. Okay, the configuration here is for gateway. Let's go for management server and let's verify it. Now this is the management server. And here also I have to configure interfaces, gateway and DNS. Interface, IP, all perfect. DNS, primary DNS server 8.8.8.8. And then your static route. Okay, stay on the page because the information is not being saved. Static route. So this is the management server. The route should be firewall. Yes, it's good. That's all. Now, what I need to do, I need to install a software called Smart Console, and you can install it from the Gaia from this option, download Smart Console. Once you download here like this, you can save and you can save at desktop. This software sometime need internet connectivity, so better give it internet connectivity by going to GUI, selecting the setting, going to the LAN adapter and select this option NAT. Oh, or one thing you can do, you can cancel it. Okay, you can cancel it. The best thing is go to the network adapter and this adapter that you are currently using, make it disable from here and add a new adapter. And you know, by default it comes to NAT, so it will bring the internet to your machine. Now once the internet is there, you can verify it. CMD. Okay friends, let's check whether the internet is there or not. You can see the internet is there, so let's install the software. And during this installation, if it need some prerequisite, it goes to internet and get it automatically. Otherwise, it is going to trouble you a lot. I just installed it. You can see these are the requirement that it should have, and due to the internet, it will definitely get it. Now you can see it has got installed, or it is going to finalize it. All the prerequisites are being done with the help of internet. Now the smart console is ready, and let me connect with the management server by using admin 1 and the password India at 123. The IP address of management server is 192.168.1.1. Here at this point, if your server does not connect first time, you should try again and again. Sometimes the services on the server takes more than expected time. So um, you should not be impatient. Although you have to check the connectivity also. why I'm not able to connect to my management server? Because I have not disabled the adapter, network adapter of my GUI machine, which is bringing the internet inside. So please notice that this GUI has two adapters. Okay, so this is bringing internet, so I'm disabling that, and this is bringing the management server connectivity, and I enabled it. Let's try to give a password and then try again. See, you got the connectivity, you got the fingerprint of the certificate provided by management server to the smart console. Friend, if you are not getting this and you saw most of the time the the error message, it means that services are not properly started. So you have nothing to do, just try again and again. Sometime it can take 20 minutes also. So okay, now you will see that this is the dashboard of R80, and now here I want to add the gateway, the security gateway. So generally, friends, R80 smart dashboard needed around 10, sorry, around 8 GB of RAM, while we are using 2 GB. So you should expect some delay. Okay. So here you can see your gateway and servers are there. Your management server should be shown here. Let's try to add the gateway. Gateway. First of all, you should be able to see the servers here. Your management server should be shown here. And I'm amazed why I'm not able to see here. Management. Let me check that management server is okay or not. CP step. CP. CP start. Let's see what are the services starting. Okay. Is there any service which is failing? You can see here it tells you CP HTTPD failed. CPWMD failed. So I need to just check. I'm going to disconnect this and connect again and check whether my management server is truly is working properly or not. So now you see this time it showed me the management server here. It's just the random behavior, but generally you will not face issues as I am facing. So you can see the name of the management server, the IP. Okay, now I'm adding the gateway, the security gateway to management server so that you can manage it. Okay, so the name is SG-HQ and the IP address 192.168.1.254. You can correlate it with the topology and go to communication, and after communication please go to 1234 and 1234. This 1234 is the activation key that you entered while you were installing the firewall. Okay, so you are required first to initialize it. Initialization means it is going to verify that the gateway is trusted or not based upon the certificate provided by the management server. Sorry, uh, as it get trusted, management server will provide a certificate to it, and let's accept it. Click OK. And you can see the new object is there, and this is a gateway. Now you have management server, you have gateway. Let's try to create a policy for the management server and enforce the policy. So I'm going to create a policy. Basically, the policy default or standard is by default there. So standard policy is already there. I need to just create a rule and then force the traffic. Okay, so I created a rule to accept anything in any direction, and I install the policy. Now the policy is installed, and it and hence the topology from you can see that now I have successfully created this number one GUI, number two the management server, and number three the gateway. Now I want to create this branch firewall, this one branch firewall, and the name will be SGBR. This will be the name that I'm going to install, and then we'll do the public configuration where I will use an operating system, Windows operating system, to create router and public machine. Okay, so I'm going to install this branch firewall now. Okay. In the same way as you did earlier, you're going to install the firewall. So I'm giving a name, SGBR, and I'm putting a hard drive of 100 GB. And because this is a firewall, it should have two interfaces. Okay, and there should be two processors, and the RAM should be 2 GB, 2048. And let's finish it. Okay, so this firewall has two interfaces, and I'm giving ETS0 an IP address, which is 192.168.3.254. You can check the topology. It is exactly matching. Friends, while it is installing, let me just create. Okay, let me create a machine here. As you know that this firewall, the branch firewall, is going to be accessed by this machine 192.168.3.10. So I'm going to create this machine so that I can take the web access, web GUI of branch firewall. So how can I do it? Now you can see here, I can, I have a, I have this Windows 7 OVA file that is there on my desktop. So I'm just going to open that, and I'm just going to make a change as GUI uh, BR, and I just import it. My branch firewall is telling me to access web UI, and for web UI, I should have a GUI machine, and I'm importing my branch GUI machine. Now, friend, the branch GUI is ready. Now I'm powering it on. And according to the topology, you are already aware that the IP address of branch GUI will be 192.168.3.10. Okay, so first of all, let me go and check the IP address. If IP address is not according to my um, planning, then I should change it. 192.168.3.10 and 192.168.3.254 and then 8.8.8.8. Okay, now see the IP is configured. Now I need to take the web access of branch SG. And the IP address of 192.168.3.254 is configured on first interface of the firewall. Let's check. Show interface 880. See, IP address is 3.254 on first interface, which is 880. So I'm making the first interface, which is this one, a part of BR in network. So any machine which has its LAN card connected to BR in will be able to communicate to this firewall. So I'm going to BR GUI and going to LAN card and going to put it into BR in, the same interface. And now let's see whether I will get the web access or not. friends, you can see the Kaya of branch gateway is accessible, and it will take me to the first time configuration wizard, and I'm going to make it okay, let me set a default gateway 200.20.3.254, and let me configure the Ethernet one also, just 200.20.3.254, and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay, let me just go back and check what IP configured for default gateway. 203, sorry, 200.20.3.1. Okay, and 200.20.3.254 as the interface IP. 255.255.255.0 is the subnet mask. Hostname is SG but BR, and now I'm making it a gateway, and I'm putting activation key 1234 1234 as earlier. As it will come out after restarting, I need to set gateway and DNS. So gateway, I think I have already configured, but DNS must be configured. Okay, friends. So you can see I access the BR query and I'm logging in and verifying that the DNS gateway and interface configuration is done already or not. First, checking interfaces and configured DNS, not configured, 8.8.8, and static route configured. Right, good. Okay, so everything is configured. Now let me see what are the other products, the machines which are required to complete the lab. So I have created this GUI machine, this management server, and this firewall, and this firewall, and this branch GUI. Now I have to create this machine, and also I have to create this router. So I have to create this the DMZ, next DMZ, and then I will create public machine, and finally I will create the router and will connect them all. So how to create DMZ machine? Let's try to see how you can do that. So I'm just going to open the Windows 7 machine, and I'm changing the name to DMZ, and I'm importing it. The activity that I just did is not required you people to do, because I just got one small package from my hard drive to the desktop. Let me repeat the process again for my public machine. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going to open Windows 7, and I'm making it public machine. You can see here, friends, the DMZ is there. So I'm powering it on. You can adjust its graphics. And first, let me check the IP address that it has, and I need to change it. So the public server is also ready. But let's focus right now for DMZ. And you know the IP address should be 192.168.2.10. So 192.168.2.10, and the gateway is 192.168.2.254. The DNS is 888. Okay, let's make it a web server. DMZ server will be a web server and FTP server. So first go to control panel and make programs and turn Windows feature on and off. So here I will go to the IaaS services. You can see here Internet Information Services. I selected FTP also. All, I'm selecting everything. And that's all. So I selected everything related to FTP server and web management tool, www services, everything I selected. And you say, okay. Okay, now uh, as you install this IA server, um, in the C drive, you will see a folder called initpub, and in this initpub, your web page uh, is kept. So this is your web page. So what I'm doing, I'm going to uh, take the content of this initpub and I want to put it in the C drive. How I want to do it, please see carefully. So this is my DMZ. I went to the settings and I went to the CD drive and I said connect. And I said, please use the ISO image as CD drive. So I browsed, I went to desktop, and at the desktop, I have initpub.ecar. I select it, I say okay. So I will see this initpub folder and I can copy it. It is from my CD and I just go to the C drive and I paste it. Once I paste it, it will have a customized web page. Okay, now let me just verify it. Let me just show you the page. So the IP address of my machine, the IP address of my machine is okay friends, let me just check the DMZ properly or not. 192.168.2.10. See, this is a web server which is working. Let me check the FTP also. FTP 192.168.2.10. It is not working. Okay, no problem. I need web server only, and if I want to make the FTP functional also, so I can just check services.msc. FTP is not there. Okay. So in the same way, I don't care about FTP. So I'm going to public and I'm making the same thing. So I'm just powering out the public machine. Okay, so what I need to do? First of all, let me check the IP address. And the IP address of public machine should be 192.168. No, it should be 200.20.4.10. You can refer the topology for it. Wait, wait. So I'm going to control panel. I'm going to my programs, turn on and off features. And now I Internet Information Server. So everything that is required, you can just enable it. And you should go to the public server. From there, you should select the CD drive, connect them, and go to ISO image. From here, you can select the desktop and select the init pub. Open the folder, copy init pub, and paste it in the C drive. This init pub will replace the original folder, and just let it get copied. And once it gets copied, let's check whether the customized page is appearing or not. So 200.20.4.10. Yes, you can see. So DMZ and public both server is ready. Now I need a router. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just using Windows 7 and I'm making it a router. And let's wait for some time till it uh, get imported properly. Now you can see, friend, it is about to finish. Now the router is ready, and to router I need four interfaces. So you can see it has only one. So I'm adding three more. Add. So this way I added three more, means now total four adapters are there. Now click OK and power it on. And here, please go and check for routing in remote access or network access. Sorry, friend, I don't think routing service is available here in Windows 7. So I'm just removing router because it is of Windows 7 and Windows 7 is not giving me routing functionality. So I'm also going to my documents in virtual machines where all these machines are there. So I'm going to select the router and I'm going to delete the router because this router is of Windows 7. So what should I do? How can I accomplish my lab? Another way is that you have server 2003. So you can just import it as router and import it. Now I'm importing the router machine, but the operating system here is server 2003. Now friends, the router is ready. And similarly, I need 4 interfaces here. So I'm editing machine here. So right now it has 1 adapter and I am adding 3 more. Right now it has 4 adapter. Now I'm just increasing its RAM a bit, 1024, and processor is okay. Let's power it on. Now you can see server 2003 is there. I'm just starting it. Hmm. let's configure the IP addresses. This is routing and remote access that you need to have. Um, so what you need to do is you need to right click here and configure enable routing and remote access services. Once you enable that, you go to custom, and through the custom you have to enable LAN routing and LAN basic firewall. Hmm. Now you can see here that uh, it has only one interface, right? So let's check first whether the interfaces are available here or not. Uh, these tools are integrated in VMware Workstation. When you want to install it, it means you want to install the drivers that is there for VMware. So it's better if you can install it, because then you will get all drivers of adapters, graphics, sound, everything is working now. I'm going to see the adapters that are there for network. You'll see here now for all the four adapters are there. Okay. Now, okay, let's start the uh, machine so that all the drivers will start functioning properly. Okay, let's go to network adapters and try to check ncpa.cbl. Very strange. Okay, ncpa.cbl. What happened to this? No result. Okay, so better let's go to the oh, now you can see these adapters are local area connection, then 5, then 7, then 6, right? Okay, so first, um, now all the machines are ready. What we need to understand how we can connect which interface with which segment. So to make you understand, let me bring back my topology here. Okay, now friends, please understand, now this section is very, very important. You need to understand. Okay, now you can, friends, you can understand the area which is here, which is just on left hand side of the firewall here. I'm thinking this is the boundary of headquarter firewall, and on left hand side the area is HQ internal, means inside of the head office, and the area from here will be outside of the head office, so HQ out. Similarly, if we draw a line here at branch, so this segment I'm going to call as BR in, means branch inside, and here branch outside. Also, you can easily understand that if you want this interface and this interface to be communicating, so they both should be a part of branch out. Similarly, if this interface and this interface want to connect each other, want to talk, then they should be a part of HQ out. And all these machines, one, this, and this, these interfaces should be a part of HQ internal to be, or to be appear like a part of a network. Similarly, this interface and this interface, these two interface should be a part of branch in. And what about this and this? They should be a part of public. So consider this logic and then start connecting the interfaces. Okay. So the first interface, this is the ETH0. So first interface, it should be a part of HQ out, and this also. So let me just go and select the router. Okay, so this is your router, and on first interface I am putting an IP as 192, sorry, 200.20.2.1, 8.8.8.8. Now, because I am connected to the router, I'm going to check whether my firewall is able to ping to my router or not. So let me just ping 200.20.2.1. Okay, let it continue. Let it continue. And while let's see on what interface firewall external interface, you can see the second interface of the firewall is towards outside. If you want to see, you can see this is the firewall Ethernet 1 and it is towards the router. So router and this interface should be part of one common segment. So I'm just making this network adapter a part of HQ out. And similarly, I want to make the router's interface, first interface to HQ out. And hoping that the ping will get start communicating. Okay, let's see, go to the firewall and check whether the ping, oh, see, the ping has started. It means now firewall and router are connected to a right interface. Let's close it. And then let's go to the branch firewall. You know, this is a branch SG. And the branch SG, you can see the first adapter is a part of branch in. So the second adapter should be a part of branch out. And one of the interface of the router should belong to the branch out also. So what I'm logging in, just verifying the ping 200.20.3.1. Okay, ping is not coming, result is not coming. So let's go to the router. And I'm considering this 5 network as the interface connected to branch, although it can be wrong. So suppose I'm changing here the IP 200.20.3.1. Okay. I have entered to the network adapter is already assigned to another adapter. Is hidden from the network connection folder because it is not physically in the computer. If same address assigned to both adapters, they both become active. Only one of them will use this address. This may result to incorrect system configuration. Do you want it? Yes. No. Do you want to enter a different IP address? No, I do not want this interface to be used for different IP. So let's check whether the branch gateway is still the result is not there. It means there is a possibility the router and branch firewall is not communicating. It means there is a possibility that the IP, the adapter may be something different. Okay, so there may be some different adapter. So I go to router, I just disable first. And then enable to just verify that everything is okay or not. Because sometimes some temporary configurations created or create issues. So see, you yourself can see result is not there. So I'm going here. Okay, let me check the interface also on the router. The second interface should see it is NAT. So it is better to give it a same HBR out interface. Okay, let's see whether it will get the result or not. So this is branch gateway. See, it's there. It means they should belong to the same network. I assigned one interface as another segment, another interface with another segment. That's why they were not able to communicate. Now, 2 interfaces are assigned to proper networks. So this one, local area connection and local area connection 5. Let's talk about local area connection 7. And I think it is for public. So considering it public, I want to give it an IP. The IP is 200.20.4.10. And gateway I'm not giving here. Okay. And also I need to go to the next adapter and make it a part of public. And I have a public machine already. See? So I'm going to make the public machine adapter also public so that they can communicate. And I can check the connectivity. I remember all the IPs of my topology. If you have any issue, you can also get it printed and keep it in front of your eyes so that you can easily understand the IP and other configurations on different machines. 4.1. See, it's not pinging. 224.1 is not pinging. So if it is not pinging, it means they are not. Let's go and check the router. 224.1 is configured or not. So you can see it is still showing you acquiring. It means it is not accepting the IP. I disable it and then I will enable and hoping the problem will get solved. See, connected, it means the problem is removed. Let's go for public and see. Let's hope that it will start pinging. Okay, it's not pinging. Let's check the interfaces. Public is connected with public. Okay, and also router. The second last interface is public. Very good. So they belong to the same adapter, but I'm not getting the reply. Okay. So let me check whether the interface that I have selected is the same interface. I disconnected it. So there will be a disconnection. See, this got disconnected. It means this is the local area connection that I am considering it. So it is better just go and this is not the adapter. While this is the adapter which is connected to public. So I'm just going to put an IP 200.20.4.1, 4.1 and 200.20.4.1. Actually, it should be 10. The 8.8.8.8. Okay, so let's go to the router. And this interface that I selected for public is not for public. So I am making it NAT. And this NAT I am making it public. And hoping now the result is coming. Sorry, friends, I noticed that I have configured 124.10 here. Ideally, I should put 124.1. And let's see whether it will get response or not. See, now it has got the response. And hence, I am okay. I'm checking which interface is okay. Let me make third interface with the net and hoping the connectivity is still there. Yes or no? No. It means the third is actually part of public, while the fourth should be a part of net. See? Good. Now, you will ask a question that for my lab, I need three interfaces, but why I put fourth? Because I want to bring internet of the host machine to be flowing in the virtual machines. And for that purpose, I am using the same routing and remote access service, and I'm going to NAT, and I'm telling that the seventh interface, the last interface is a public interface, and do all the netting here on the seventh interface. While sixth interface is a private interface, fifth interface is also a private interface, and fourth interface is also a private interface. That's all. Now you can refresh it and you can see you are able to ping 8.8.8.8, and you can see private public translation is happening. Okay, so let's try to do one thing. If everything is okay, everything is connected, let me just verify the branch gateway, branch firewall should be connected with branch in and branch out. Yes. And now I'm going to GUI and finally adding my branch firewall. You can see here that I have only one firewall. So I'm adding another gateway, and this gateway will be branch gateway. So the gateway is SG but branch. The IP address is 200.20.3.254. You can check it from the topology. And I just want to give the activation key that I gave during the installation. So I initialize it. If connectivity is okay, it will give you the perfect trust established message. Otherwise, it will create some issue. And it is taking time. It means there is a probability that it will create some trouble. Because it is failed, so I'm expecting that connectivity is still not there. So I will test the connectivity. So how can I test the connectivity? From CMD, I will ping 200.20.2.1, the router. Router is not pinging. Oh. So router itself is not pinging. So let me check my gateway. The gateway's first interface should be a part of HQ in, second should be part of HQ out, and third should be part of DMZ. Okay. Now let's come to the router. Because after you have a router, after firewall you have a router. Router, the first interface should be HQ out, PR out public net. Right. Good. So okay, so I do not have route. I have not defined routing here. So I need to tell the router that if you want to reach 192.168 dot say 1.0 with this subnet, you should use the gateway as 200.20.2.254. You can check this routing from the topology. And I should also mention that if you want to reach 192.168.2.0, um, 255.255.255.0, use the gateway 220.2.254. In the same way, you can set an interface. You can say 192.168.3.0, 255.255.255.0. So to reach this network, the router will send the packet to 200.20.3.254. And now I think everything will be okay. Let's go to communication and then put 1234, 1234, and initialize. See, that's got established. We have created the topology successfully. And the lab is ready for practice. Now I'm installing the policy. If policy got installed on both the firewall, everything is okay now. This way, my dear friends, you can create the checkpoint topology. Okay, friends. So now if I like to see that everything is okay, perfect, I can ping from one end host to another end host. Ping 192.168.3.10. Oh, it's not pinging. Oh, so why it is not pinging? Let me check. Let's go to the PR GUI and check the IP. The PR GUI must have IP configured 3.10 and its gateway will be 3.254. Three dot 3.254. 888. Very good. Now let's see whether it is pinging. So ping. Okay. Ping 192.168. ringing. Maybe branch firewall was installing the policy at that point of time. Once the policy is installed, then only the branch gateway will be able to. 192.168.3.10. Okay, so better do a tracer -d 192.168.3.10. Let's see. 254, 2.1. Okay, so from firewall it is going. Okay, the possibility is that the branch machine, branch GUI may have firewall enabled. So you can go to control panel and there go to the security, go to firewall and disable the firewall. Now I hope from GUI you are able to get. See, it's all good. Very good. So friends, this was there for creating a lab. I hope with the help of this, you can create your lab.